Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their picks are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title IV says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the lie.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor, through the Senate, and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry about that breakup. They seem to be able to get through to us every once in a while. I am your host, CPS Punisher. I'm not going to make you go through any more of that crap, that lagging and all of that stuff. So I apologize. Again, I want to apologize for us being late this evening. Also, I've had a situation at home here. Our cat is MIA, so we've been out there trying to find it. We still have not found him yet. So if you have prayers for us, I would greatly appreciate those. Hopefully he'll be back. Little kitty will be back soon. And the other office notes here are: make sure that you please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, check out abolishcps.com, buy some of our merchandise, support the stream. I mean, we got a whole bunch of things of things that you guys can use as references and resources here at abolishcps.com. There's a slew of information there that you can use. And of course, listening to us. I mean, what we have to say is information that you can use. I mean, we're not lawyers and we are not, we're just not lawyers. But you know what? We are here. We're here for you guys. And we're here to help you guys so that you don't end up TPR'd like us. And we want to make sure that your children are safe in your homes every night. That's what our mission is here. So tonight we're going to have a different kind of night. Tonight we have the chat that's available right here off to the side. Someone's already getting to use it. We got American Patriotism out there. Hello. Oh, Carrie, thank you so much. She'll pray for the cat to come home too. Thank you so much, Carrie. Those two right there are two of the most devoted people that we know on this site and this channel, and we appreciate them very much. But guys, follow suit with them. Hop into this chat. If you've got questions tonight, you can go ahead and ask them. We will give you answers the best to our ability. We'll find information for you. We'll put you in the right direction. So, you know, if you guys are watching, make sure that you share with your friends right now, and let them know that tonight is an all-on-deck participation night, and we've got answers and questions and all kinds of things. Tonight's show is for you guys that are watching live. Brenda, how we doing? Good to see you on tonight, Brenda. You know, so please, guys, you know, share this out. Let everybody know tonight is an all-hands-on-deck night. Let's get some information out to people. I'm going to bring out Melissa and bring out Herbert right now. Herbert, Melissa, how we doing, guys?
Okay.
All right, we finally made it. We made it out here. Melissa, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Herbert's got the bounce. Herbert, you got the echo, buddy.
Okay, I'll be back.
I'm good. I'm, you know, considering all things that are going on, you know, trying to find my kitty cat that's MIA. So that's kind of stressful. But other than that, you know, today I looked up a ton of statistics. And I don't know if I believe these numbers or if they're out of whack. I'm going to pull these up here real quick, Melissa, for you.
Are they good out of whack or bad out of whack?
You know, they just don't make sense. You know, I almost wish that Tiffany was on. You know, Tiffany from last night was on with us right now, because I'd love to share in to some of these. So here's you know, I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, and I don't want anybody to get angry with me for saying about what I'm about ready to say. I don't think that we need to make a color and race issue out of CPS. I think that all of us need to be together in this. Especially when I saw these statistics, I almost dropped, because there's just no reason for anybody to care what color we are, or what race we are, what language we speak, what anything we are. These are our freaking kids, and we are their parents. So it doesn't matter where we're from, what we do, how we speak. We all need to get together and unite and do, like we've been saying, pack it up. We all need to show solidarity in this, because all of our children's lives matter. All of our parents' lives matters. Doesn't matter if you're from India, from Turkey, Istanbul, Nigeria, Germany, USSR, Florida, Michigan, Maine, Brazil, Mexico, Canada, any of these places, Antarctica. We are all parents, and we are all having our kids stolen from us. And I just don't think that there's any reason to separate or to segregate any of these groups out to be one for another. I think we all need to be together 100%, and that's it. We're all bleeding red in this country, and any other country that's with us. We're all bleeding red as parents, and we're all bleeding red as our kids. So I just don't think, Melissa, that we should be playing this as a race style organizational list.
Well, you know, the thing is realistically, I don't think CPS is picky. I mean, there was a point in time where in certain areas they did seek out blonde hair, blue eyed, but now they're going for mixed race kids. Now they're going for, you know, there's this new big trend about wanting, black kids, and they're wanting the mixed race kids. They want the hazel eyes, light skin complexion. You know, it's whatever the fad for whatever kid they want in that area. They are there to fill a shopping list, and that's what they're doing.
Right, and they actually have, I'm going to pull that up here in a second. I'm glad you just said that. I just got this the other day from a friend of mine. They sent me this. They actually have a shopping list, a legit shopping catalog of children.
Yeah,
Check this out. Let me
Absolutely.
pull it up here. This is disgusting. I cannot believe that they literally have a shopping catalog. So this is allowing people to look at your kids because they are still your kids. But they're allowing them to go out and look at your kids and shop them. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Let me pull this up. This is crazy. I cannot, like, this just blows my mind that they're able to put, because you know what? I put a picture up of my daughter one time, and she had gotten a boo-boo on her foot, on her leg, right? And she had no shirt on, and this was when she was like 2 or whatever. And me and her were outside. It was her first boo-boo. I filmed it and everything. And then they took it off of YouTube because they said it was showed the signs of pornography. Now you're telling me that my daughter, that I voluntarily put the picture up of and showed her getting a boo-boo because we're outside in the hot summer and she had no shirt on, that's pornography. But yet we can let pedophiles go to an online catalog and pick out pictures of your children that they're adopting. Here it is right here. Let me pull this up. Wait till you guys see this. It's gonna blow your freaking minds. Oh, that's YouTube. We don't want that. We want this here. Check this out. Oh, man. Yeah, Carrie, it is. It's marketing. Wait, look at this. I'm sorry, guys, if this offends you or upsets you, but this has got to be done.
Yeah, but it should offend and upset people.
I'm just saying the fact that there is stuff like this. Look at this. Look, they have a freaking child of the week. Look at this, a child of the week. Can you believe? There's Johnny Joseph, the child of the week. Wow. Jesus,
the only reason he qualified to get on the front page like that for Child of the Week is because he's going to be a level 1, meaning they're not making much money off of him because he falls in line, does what he's supposed to. So he's a throwaway.
Yeah, look
they'd rather just mark all the other ones off as runaways and then keep collecting big dollars on them.
Look at his face. That just says he's so excited about this, doesn't it? Johnny Joseph just looks like he couldn't wait. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do a search here. Let's try. Before we begin, the children who are listed here have received the consent of the court, or the court gave them. All right, search our waiting children. What age do we want to look for here?
Well, the prime age to seek children are under the age of 5.
So let's do the lowest
prime
age.
Children that people want.
So we're going to select the lowest age is 5. What about the highest age we're looking for? Let's say 10.
10.
All right. Maximum number of children together. We'll put any. Desired sibling gender, doesn't matter. All right, ethnicities to include.
Any.
Should we do any? They don't have an any. Are we allowed to click on all of them here? Yeah, we can do them all. Let's see what we come up with here. I mean, what is other, do you think? All right, now here's where concerns to avoid: permanent physical disability, developmental delay, or low IQ.
No, see, of a young age kid, I don't think you should be able to say that you ain't interested because they have a low IQ or a disability. Because their brain hasn't developed yet.
Right.
Actually, I would think that a predator would want to seek out someone with a low IQ because they'd be less likely to snitch.
And there we go on the overlay. Oh, Brenda says that boy looks like her son Chris. Oh my gosh, Brenda. I'm sorry. See, I'm sorry I put these up here. But what are you guys thinking about this? I mean, we'll get you guys in on it with us. You know, we're all here together.
Hey, Brittany
permanent
wants
shoot-
to join in. Tiffany, I mean.
Brittany wants to
Tiffany
come on the show? Tiffany wants
Tiffany
to come in?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Let's get Tiffany in here.
Yeah, I'll forward her over the link.
All right, cool. That's great. Guys watching, what do you guys think? I'm very curious as to see what the stats are when we pull this up. What is this going to say when we do this? So we've got all of the ethnic things are included here. The maximum number of children together, we said any. Desired sibling gender doesn't matter. The lowest age we'll take is 5, and then the highest age is 10, and the gender doesn't matter. What happens here if I click boy and girl? Oh,
I'm surprised they don't have a button for the new he/she line of girls.
It is transgender right there. It's there.
Yeah.
Just stuck in behind it. Right there. Transgender, girl, boy, any. All right, what do we got here? This doesn't show me. Yeah, Carrie. In Florida, it's called Forever Families. Carrie says that this has been going on for. All right, Herbert, you're in good. Let's see here. All right, Herbert asked me where did I get this from, and it comes from the cakidsconnection.org. Herbert, cakidsconnection.org. So let's go with. We're going to leave out any of these disabilities here, and let's go searching. Let's see what we come up with. Oh my goodness! Look at this. Look at all of these children waiting for families. All right. Do you see a problem here, Melissa?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Well, I see the same exact problem that we see with all the migrant children that are missing. You have now set up a pedophile. See, here's the thing with sex crime conviction, okay? They typically only get convicted once, and when they do get convicted, it's for something really bad. The entire time prior to being convicted, they have no record. They have nothing. They qualify to be what's called a respite placement. And they volunteer to watch these kids for the weekend.
Right, they're taking
and they
time
seek
bombs.
them out and they groom them, and the ones that seem more willing to play along, they buy them.
This is weird. All right, now obviously we've created a pedophile database here, but unless I've missed something here, I want you to look over this again. Are you ready? I'm going to scan through here, okay? You seeing everything?
Yeah.
What's missing? What's missing here? They're all boys.
Did you put in for boys and girls?
Yeah. We said any. So it could be transgender, it could be transgender, it could be... Oh, Herbert, whatever you just did, you fed back to us. Jesus, man. We'll figure this thing out with
Hey,
Herbert
Tiffany.
Hi.
Hey, Tiffany, how are you?
I'm good. How are everybody else doing?
Disgusted?
I tried to call you today. I tried to call you twice and text you.
Hold on, we have Herbert in the timeout room. He's got to switch because he got the feedback again. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Herbert. All right, we're good right now, Herbert.
You good?
No, we're not. Never mind, I lied. I don't know what he does, but he does something, even though he says he doesn't. Tiffany, are you looking at this thing that we have here?
Hold on, let me see which I haven't. Sharon, I can't really see it, but the majority of women in prison in Florida are
Oh, I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Huh?
I'm more like talking about the board here
The
up
page
here.
that he's sharing.
Page
Yeah,
up
the
here,
page
yeah.
that he's sharing. It's a child shopping list.
I gotta put my glasses on.
All right, yeah, let's
But
do
I
that.
can see. It's small letters, but I can see what he's sharing on the screen.
Yeah, it's a essentially a CPS shopping list for children.
Right. They're human trafficking children and sacrificing children for money from the government on the Title IV emergency assistance from the government.
Right, but this is giving them a catalog. Here you go. All you have to do is go right through this thing, tell them what you were looking for, and bang, here you go. Tells you the name of the kids, where they are, their age, the siblings that go with them, the agency that's got them. This is your, Merry Christmas catalog, if you will, from those dirty people that we don't want to talk about.
Email to me. Now, I don't want to get your name wrong. You're Darren, right?
I am.
Okay, Darren, I need your contact information. I don't have it.
All right, I'll get that to you. That's only for special people, Tiffany.
I am a special person. I'm an
All right.
Nah. I'm an anointed woman of God.
Oh, yes, perfect. And I too, I'm actually a minister as well. So,
that's awesome. I've been in church my whole life, and I'm a mother of 18. I'm a mother of 13 children, 8 living children, 3 grandchildren.
Whew, dang.
A large family. I'm glad I got a large family.
Yeah, that's a big lot of presents at Christmas.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of this? You know what? Hopefully Herbert's back in here so we can hear him. Right? He switched up or something. Herbert, tell me that we can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, where we are, you can hear us. We got no echo, right?
I can hear you. Is there echo?
No, we're good so far.
We're good.
I didn't do
No,
anything.
there it is.
I did nothing.
Yeah, we're echoing again. There it is.
Maybe technical difficulty. I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah,
you know how they do all kind of the government control internets and stuff like that. So you got to be careful online.
Yeah, they do this. They mess with us a lot, but Herbert's thing especially. But anyway, Tiffany, have you ever even seen anything like this? This catalog, this order up. Let's go through it again because you aren't here for this. Let's see. This doesn't shock me. I have felt like they've like this forever. Yeah, it's just I'm like, bruh, I don't even know what to say. It disgusts me. So it's pretty much like this. Check this out, Tiffany. So it comes through. Let me start back over at the beginning here.
I want a copy of that sent to me. I can get the link to pull it up.
I will definitely. I'll make sure I send you that.
Make sure you send it to me in email.
You know, in Michigan, Tiffany, Catholic Charities has a catalog kind of like that.
Yeah, they all thieves. They all robbers and corrupt criminals. That's what they are. That's what CPS are. They're some criminals.
Hey guys, make sure that you subscribe, like, and share, and all of that stuff, please. And also, this stuff costs. It's tough to run all these things. You know, the website, the abolishcps.com, and this channel, and there's a lot that goes into it, guys. So if you could help in any way by supporting this stream, here's a QR code right there that would help us. I mean, anything, even just sharing that link helps. Helps us. If you're not right now to help us out monetarily, if you could just share that to someone that might be able to, that would be awesome. Every little bit helps, guys. 5 cents even helps. So if you have anything that you guys can kick for that. Also, we have apparel. We have the Make Parenting Great Again hats. We have the Abolish CPS sweatshirts right here.
Well,
that are pretty sweet. Yeah, it's real good, and the back's real nice. I don't know what that picture does. We also have the official CPS Punisher sweatshirt. This hoodie right here
Right.
is
I
the
need that
CPS Punisher
picture.
on the sleeve. Yeah, it's bad, right? It's real bad. And then
Yeah,
this
I
one's
like
my favorite. This is a favorite one I designed. These are for your children. If you are in a CPS investigation or CPS is involved in your place, check this out. We got property of my mom and dad. Stop CPS corruption shirts for your children to wear. That way we show CPS. We know what's up. Leave our freaking kids alone. And you can get all this stuff at the abolishcps.com store site. There's plenty of other gear in there. We sell security cameras, notebooks, everything that you need to fight CPS, we have in that store. And if we don't have it, we can get it for you. Also, if your organization needs any sort of design work done, t-shirts, graphics, logos, things like that, please get in touch with me, and I can do those services for you too. But
Okay.
back to what we're talking about here. Tiff, look at this. Ready? So this is what happens here. Let me get back to page 1 here. I just want to go over this real quick. So what you do is you go in, right? Step 1 to complete the form. So here we'll go gender, any, right? Lowest stage we said we'd take is 5. Highest stage 10. No minimum number of kids that they have for siblings. No desired sibling gender. We selected every race that there was on the list. Then we went to search for child, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The criminals, they're gonna get it. God gonna get them. You don't hurt children. You don't do this to children. God even says worse than a milestone tied around your neck there with these little ones. But children, they gonna get it. They're not getting away with what they doing. They're gonna get it because the Bible says, vengeance the Lord, he shall repay them. Hurting babies. Taking our babies and hurting them, and oh man, makes me get upset. I can't see nothing now. I can't see y'all no more.
No, I think Darren might have lost his internet.
Yeah, because he
sometimes when Darren puts out some pretty decent stuff, his internet will get cut down.
I called you today, Herbert, and you didn't answer. I called you twice and I texted you. You didn't text me back.
You text me?
I text you and I text unless I wrote down the wrong number, but I text you and I called you today. Twice.
Woo, I made it. I made it back,
We
guys.
gotta check why, because I've been here all the time.
Yeah, it's them government people not letting us get together. Hey guys, listen, if you don't forget, inside the chat, you can ask us questions. Anything you got. Tiffany is an actual advocate herself. She helps all kinds of people. She's actually, you are an actual, your organization is I Stand to Oppose Abuse of Power, right?
Right. And my website is you put it there. Thank you, brother. I'm a civil rights activist and advocate. I'm a mother. I'm multi-talented. There's too much I haven't done or went to school for. I'm still in school. I'm a forever learner and training, and I'm licensed in universal rights and civil rights and different stuff like that, and children's rights. And I've been fighting the system since 1999. I'm very educated in the system. I've been helping families. I fought the system and won successfully myself when I had my kid was kidnapped from me. And since that birthed my I Stop Awareness Now organization. In 2012, it was founded. In 2015, when I found out that a lot of parents didn't have money like I had to fight the system, in 2015, I filed to become a nonprofit organization. So I have a for-profit business and a nonprofit business for families. So anyone can call that number. That is my business number, but everything has to be done legally because I am licensed. So I ask people to go to my website to communicate with me, and email me, and send me their last court document if they want advocacy. I do some nonprofit, But if I have to teach people how to fight the system pro se, then I do charge a fee for that. But what's free for my clients is advocating for them, letters, doing the footwork, calling state officials, writing letters on their behalf, different stuff like that. That's free for them.
That's excellent. I got your number. I have your number up here too. It's what is that? 810, right?
Yep.
810-221-6553. Oh, you have some other numbers up here too, right?
I only have one number because I have more than one phone, but that's my business line. I don't like to give out my other numbers.
So the 810-221-6553 number is the
yeah,
one that you
that's
like
my business line. I only give my personal number out to other people that's special, like you say.
Oh, okay. All right. That's very nice. All right. Yeah. That's good. That's real good.
So I have more than one telephone number, but I give them all out. But let me get my pen. I gotta trying to write this down. That's what Herbert just put in the chat. Because I may have put the wrong number because I sure called him today. I tried to touch base with everybody today.
Yep. We'll make sure that we get the right numbers to you after the show. That way we're not taking up showtime for number handoff, you know. So we'll make sure that we put that down in the notes that make sure. Oh, and when after the show we usually do a little Google Meet thing, and I'll send you the link for that too. That we all get together after the show to discuss things. So we'll make sure that you get that too.
Thanks for your fight, my brother Darren. Thanks for what you're doing to help people.
Oh, thank you for what you do, because you actually got the boots on the ground. You know, you're going out there and you're fighting these people in the courtrooms and in the classrooms and all of that stuff. You know, I just get to find you people and get you guys allocated and, you know, sized off. It's you people that are on the ground that are the ones that are making the difference. You know, I just happen to have a place to put the voice and to put the people together, but you guys are the real ones. So thank you. This is it's good stuff. It's good. So we were talking earlier about also. I mean, do you think that there's anything that we can do about these catalogs, if you will, these catalogs of children? I mean, is that do you guys out there?
I'm in training right now, like I say, and this is an accredited school. It's the University. United Nations on Humanitarian Rights and Universal Rights. I'm in training right now. I'm doing a training. I'm in training for the next 8 weeks, and I'm doing a training on children's rights. And I found out that the United States is the only country that never legalized the treaty to protect children's rights. So this is how they're able to keep stealing our children and keep kidnapping our kids for money from the government. Because the government is in cahoots with CPS and law enforcement is all in cahoots together of corruption. So I found out through you just text me, Herbert. I got it. And this is just too much corruption because of all the conspirators of them conspiring together to get money from the government to sell our children for money from the title for emergency assistance for money from the government. When Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton got into office, they passed the Safe Adoption Family Act that got the government in cahoots with CPS. It probably was an okay agency before that happened, but since that has happened, it's all about termination of parental rights and adopting the child out. Now, it had already been ruled on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals that the government couldn't get in the welfare of our parental rights. We had the right to parent our children in our lawfully abiding homes. But now, since these entities, CPS, government, and law enforcement, and all in cahoots together with corruption, they're wanting money from the government, and that's what it's all about now. They're human trafficking, they're pedophilia, they're doing all kinds of stuff against children. But they're going to get their day because God is going to punish them. You can't hurt children like that. Right. And what they're doing to our families. And so this is in every state, in every country around the world.
Tiffany, what is this? What is the, you talked about this treaty a little bit yesterday. What treaty is it that, you know,
Let me get my notes because I'm still in training. I just have finished my
yeah, no,
training.
that's, I get it.
I'll get the name for you. Hold on, let me get my notes.
Right. I'm really interested to find out what this treaty is that is saved, is that we don't have
Signed
it.
the document, but they never ratified it. They never legalized it. So they are the only country in the whole world that haven't signed the treaty and for the children rights. I'm trying to look for it in my notes now. Hold on, I wrote it down.
I hope you did. 'Cause that sounds like an important piece of information.
Oh yeah. So we have the state obligation under the CRE, but I'll get you the core principle of the CRE. So it's the CRE that was founded in, let's see when it was founded. The CRE for children rights were founded in 1889, and since that time, all the other states and countries have signed it, but the United States is the only country that did not have the ratification of and the legalization of parental rights and children rights have not been signed yet into law by the United States government. They are the only country. Somalia was the last one in 2015. They just signed theirs, but now
Oh, yeah. So that shows you something. We're behind Somalia. That's great.
is the United States government. But everybody else done signed it to protect children's rights, except the United States government. So that's why our country is the only country where they can send children to jail for life in prison and different stuff like that. They do to children. That's not right. So they can charge children as adults when children commit crimes, and we have a statutory rape law in place, and it simply says that a child could not answer the questions of sexual questions under the age of 18, so we shouldn't be putting children in prison for life without the possibility of parole. So I will get you that information too when you text me.
Yep, we'll make sure that we do that. We'll
Yeah,
do that.
they have not signed the CRC.
It's the CRE you said, right? CRE?
No, it's
Charlie.
Hold on, let me get back to the date. I think that was the date that it was. It may have been right before then. It's called the CRC. CRC in 1989, the Convention of the Rights of the Child. CRC.
CRC. Okay.
CRC in 1989.
CRC treaty.
And it's for children's rights, and it has to do with the best interest of the child law, child rights, parental rights, different stuff like that. So that's what I'm in training for right now.
Okay, so it says the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child is an international. Okay, so that's it. The CRC is Convention on the Rights of the Child. It's an international human rights treaty that sets out the civil, political, economic, social, health, and cultural rights of children. It was adopted by the UN General Assembly on 20 November 1989. The CRC recognizes the right of every child to grow socially, mentally, and physically to the best of their potential, to participate in decisions that affect their future, and to freely express their own opinion. It is the most widely ratified human rights treaty in the world. Let's see what else it talks about here. So I'm gonna go ahead on a guesstimate and say that the majority of the reasons why they don't want to sign this is because we push for so much foster care and adoption. I bet you when we look into this stuff,
Darren,
it had already been ruled on that termination of parental rights is equivalent to the death penalty in criminal cases. Therefore, parents must be afforded every due process of law and every representation afforded by the law. But these are case laws that I'm quoting to you. These things had already been ruled on, but the government was never supposed to be in the power that it's in. We, the people, hold power over the government. So, but I say that to say this. So the problem lies in the law. Okay, the problem lies in the law. As long as these laws are the way they are, then that lets me know I was when I was going through the training. I just finished my training just before I got on. I just closed down and did my last training for today. But anyway, it's sad. It's heartbreaking. This breaks my heart because these are babies. They're innocent. These are children, and children
Right.
are our future. We don't hurt children. You don't do that to children. You don't do wrong to children and stuff like that. You don't hurt babies and stuff like that. And look what they're doing to our families and our children. They dismantle families. They breaking the bond of mother and child. They're traumatizing the children and the parents and the families, creating a problem for PTSD and mental illness, and they're just doing a whole lot of illegal stuff, taking these children like they just animals, and they're not. They're human beings.
No, right. Some animals get better treatment in their areas than these children do. I mean, that's
Right,
fact.
right. Over 10,000 children was killed. Like they've been killing children. They rape children. They beat children. They do all kinds of heinous acts against children.
I can't even believe that there's the statistics, the way that the numbers that they show, that there's even enough people out in this world to commit these horrendous things and get away with it, and still have no people out there standing up with disgust. It's like the size of it can't be hidden anymore, and the amount of us that are coming out and screaming and telling them, like, look, we need help, we need more of you, we need more of you. Those numbers aren't decreasing, they're only increasing. So what is the next step for everybody?
The next step is for us to unify. Now we have all these different sector organizations that's on, and to effectively orchestrate change, we need to come together and unify, so we can overthrow the government by unified of we the people. Meaning that united we stand, divided we fall. There's power in unity. The Bible says, how can two walk together except we agree? We need the power of agreement, and we need to come together no matter how you look, no matter your race, creed, your religion. We all need to come together and fight this beast, this wicked entity, these wicked, corrupt, unjust, evil systems of government. They corrupt. And so that's what we need to do, because that's how they did it in the Constitution, and that's how it was written up for us to affect change and to make sure that that the government worked for us and not against us. But the government has been working against us and not for us.
You can say that again. You can say that a lot. I mean, these statutes and these things that they're holding us up to are made for them to follow, not for us. Somehow they flipped this around, and now we're following the rules that they've established for themselves.
Yeah, because they're not following the laws. They're making laws as they go. They're not following the Constitution. They're stripping us of our rights on every corner. On every which way, they're stripping us of our rights.
Every day, all day long.
That
they say there's a child a minute is taken in to CPS custody.
And all they want to do is, when a child is taken in CPS custody, they want to they brainwash the children and turn the children against their parents. They do all kind of tactics, and they twist what the children say. They twist what you say. They falsify documents. They commit perjury in court. They do all of this to get money from the government under Title IV Emergency Assistance and the Safe Adoption Family Act.
Right.
People wonder why nobody wanted to really vote for Hillary Clinton. That's because of the things they did to the children when they signed that act. They came up with the Safe Adoption Family Act when they was in office to get the government involved when it already had been ruled on that the government couldn't get involved of parental rights, and we had the right to parent our children the way that we see fit in our lawful homes. That's afforded to us by the Constitution, but under parental rights. But they have gotten away from the laws and the Constitution that protect us. They have gotten away from universal rights and our human rights and our Bill of Rights, the rights we was born with on God's green earth. They have gotten away from those things.
Right. Well, I mean, I think taking God out of our schools and out of all of these, the courthouses, taking God out of everything has definitely restructured and it's ruined our moral values. It's ruined with the basis of our lifestyles and the Judeo-Christian rule. And like once they move God away from all of these things and we have nothing more to fear but fear itself, we're in trouble. They've done it. Like these kids that are in this generation, if you ask them if they fear God, they'll give you some sort of philosophical, I can't even say the word right but they'll be like, oh my God, no, because God's like a star and like in his book, and they don't know the story of Jesus and how Jesus put his life up for all of us. They don't know these stories, and they don't live their lives by these things neither. They don't live their life by these morals. So they have no problem with going into the hospital room because they're pissed off at mom and dad and getting an addictomy surgery, mutilating themselves permanently for the rest of their lives because these morals haven't been taught to them, because they've been either removed from a family system and no longer have those values to come in because CPS has come in and destroyed the family unit, removed dad from the house, segregated mom to think that she's nothing, made little kid think that he can do whatever he wants, and now they can run across the border and have these surgeries. By taking God out, they have taken the entire level of morals, morality, accountability. All of these things are gone now, and we're not going to get them back. And CPS pushing their agenda is just forcing the need for all of this to come back together, is pushing this further and further away. Because as long as you have the alphabet, the LGBTQ breathing down the necks of, like, oh, let us in, let us get these children, all of this. Look at, no, there's plenty of heterosexual families out there that need healthy babies that couldn't have babies. Let them have them first. Let the family unit stay the family unit as mom and dad for as long as possible, because that's what it is, what it's intended to be, and what it needs to be for our human race to survive. People don't forget, if we can't reproduce, humans can't exist anymore. We're not talking about making humans in a little vial in some laboratory. I'm talking about man and woman procreating together. You know what? If animals can't do it, we have no more animals. If people can't do it, we have no more people. It's very simple. And CPS's agenda is to come in and, no matter at what cost, stop the family and stop the reproduction.
Sorry, hey, Darren, here's one for you. You see that CPS is really big on taking all these little boys and turning them into little girls.
Yeah.
How come you don't ever hear of them taking little girls and turning them into little boys?
Right. You don't hear a lot of addictomies. You're absolutely right. You hear about takeomophonies, but not addictomies.
When they filed when they filed the law that anybody can marry, they filed it under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which was never ratified either. So the law is really null and void. But they filed the LGB and the gender laws under that amendment in the U.S. Constitution, okay? So what is going on in the school system, I work with kids and I work with the kids in the school system. And so now if your kids are in state school, under the government, then they have all these gender laws that they're forcing the children and they're forcing the teachers and stuff like that to adhere to, and then they're if your children are going for, they have a No Child Left Behind Act. They're leaving a lot of children behind in that act, and they're abusing children in the schools and with these gender laws. They're confusing the children. They're brainwashing the children. They're doing all these things, and all these things are against God, an abomination to God. So I work for this school system here in Michigan. I work for Davidson schools, and they was real racist out there. And when I was out there, because I promote I promote civil rights no matter where I go, and I promote Christianity and what God want me to do for His kingdom and for His people and for His children. So there was a little boy. The little boy had to be no more than the first or second grade when I came up office. I worked at the school system under my medical license as a care technician. And I worked under the RN who seemed like she was racist too. And she told me, to say, you see that child right there? He's a boy, but he identified with the girl. The little boy was so young that I told her, I said, God is going to get his parents. He's young. You can't just do that to children and take them and have sex changes and they're a child. They don't even know right from wrong yet. They still learning. You know, it's sad what they're doing to our children and what they're doing to our homes. But you know, it's going to. I believe that God is going to make them pay. I'm a firm believer. I've seen His miracle power and wonders in my life, and I know that He fights my battles, and I win all the time. And I say that to say this: God knows what's going on. He's not ignorant to Satan's devices in these corrupt systems of governments. He's aware of what's going on. It's a time and place for everything, but we need to protect the children at all costs. And it's getting to the point where they treat our children like they're not inhumane, like they're not even human beings. You know, that's inhumane. That's a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
Well, it honestly seems like they want to convert all the little boys into little girls to add extra children for the pedophiles to buy.
Well, I'm almost thinking maybe they have plans down the road. If they do the take it off of me, they're creating
more little girls.
Creating a possible reproductive, right? They're also maybe down the line they're using those reproductive organs for some sort of artificial something. Whereas an addictomy, it's hit or miss. It's still a concentrated tube that they can put in a lab and make it work. So it's not as you know what I mean? Like it seems like they're looking at incubation a lot more than they are than the actual.
Well, but I mean, typically you have 3 boys born to every 1 girl born. So really they're just evening out the playing field because a lot more people, they find through adoption, a lot of people want a cute little girl that they could dress up in the sissy foo-foo stuff. And if you're shopping for a child for the wrong reason, 9 times out of 10 you're looking for a little girl anyways. So they're just widening the shopping field.
It's really sad because it's pedophilia. They're passing laws trying to pass laws to make it legal to have sex with children. They're doing all these things against children. It's already been passed in other states that they passed a law for bestiality for you to have sex with animals. You can't have sex with animals and different stuff like that. So they're passing all these laws to further their agenda of pedophilia.
Heck, in Michigan, molestation's only a misdemeanor.
Yeah, they doing all these things to keep.
Yeah, ain't it Connecticut or one of the smaller states over that way that the alphabet mafia was pushing to actually make pedophilia legal? Now, I know in North Carolina, if you knock up a child over the age of 12, you have the right to marry them.
Okay, Okay, I'm trying to read what Herbert is actually in the chat. I'm not responding because I'm trying to read, but Herbert is asking about what we should do. We need to when a system. The Bible lets you know when a system is corrupt, when the foundation is evil and is corrupt, we need to destroy the foundation and rebuild it again. So we need to destroy CPS and abolish that entity, and then with and restructure it and redo it over, because there's always going to be famine, there's always going to be hardship in the earth. The Bible lets us know that there's going to be things in the earth that's going to be outside of our control. So to protect children from all hurt, harm, and danger, we got to have some type of agency that is going to protect the children's rights and not sell them and abuse them and mistreat them while they're in foster care and different stuff like that. They be doing, raping the children. My children were raped and abused when they was in the system. So they're targeting people that was already in the system, and then their children that they have, and they just doing a whole, it's systematic slavery, systematic racism. They just doing a whole lot of corruption in the family unit, and they destroying the family bond and breaking the family bond and turn it, like if a person was married and they had their kids and they didn't really do nothing to their kids to discipline their kids. They took discipline and prayer out of schools, and now they're making it seem like we are abusing our children when we discipline our children. Well, that's why the children is doing what's going on in the schools today, because they don't have no discipline. And God say, if you spoil the child, spread the rod, you spoil the child. You need to discipline your children. There's a thin line between discipline and abuse. At any moment, you can slip over to abuse when you come to the children. So you can't just whoop your children for everything and different stuff like that. You gotta have a balance in raising a child and instilling morals and beliefs. And since they have gotten so far away from God that it's just wicked. It's pure wickedness on every case. So the police, they're in cahoots with them. They supposed now. It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be the law enforcement come out and the FBI come out and do an investigation of abuse and neglect. Not CPS come out and take your kids in foster care and put them in a civil court of law. It's supposed to be handled in a criminal court of law if I really abuse my children. But then they have laws to protect you, and they're supposed to be unification. So there's all types of laws and rules and regulations that's coming into play. And these legislations and these people, they pedophiles and they're raping children, they're selling children, they're human trafficking children. They're doing all these things to babies, and it's so sad to me. It's so heartbreaking to see this happen to our nation of people and around this world for babies.
Well, I think, Tiffany, the biggest problem we have is, we're fighting for our families with a constitution that upholds the rights of we the people, but we're doing it in an administrative court. And administrative law does not recognize the Constitution. And it is harder than hell to make a constitutional fight in the trial court for these families. Every family fighting CPS has a violation of due process that they could stand firm on.
That's right.
But like in my case right now, we just filed a constitutional challenge 3 weeks ago. And last week, the attorney for the department filed a motion to dismiss that petition. He didn't even file the right thing. It should have been a motion to quash.
Right.
Because he didn't even file the right document. We're not dismissing one argument. He wants to dismiss the whole thing. That's a motion to quash.
Right.
So he don't even know how to respond to a constitutional argument. And
that's been the problem, Melissa, not to cut you off, but here's the thing. The Constitution was written in a time of slavery. So even though
Constitution was also written before the existence of the administrative courts.
Right. And so what they're doing is they are making up laws and rules and regulations as they go along to take your rights from you outside of the Constitution. They're not following the Constitution. They're making up their own rules and regulations as they go along, and they're denying you your rights if you possess a law, and your civil rights and your your religious liberties and your freedoms that you afforded by being a human being. This is what the United States government is doing in other countries too. This is going on nationwide. This is going on nationwide. This is a cry.
Oh, I used to have people come on my show from England and Britain and everywhere when we were back with the prior platform. We currently on Mondays have a lady out of Canada. You know, so it is a huge worldwide thing, and it overseas they see a lot more organ harvesting out of the kids than we see here. And you know, you got to give props to people like Tara Rodas in her fight for the migrant children, because we're now pushing 100,000 missing migrant children during the Biden administration. Because they opened
150,000?
no 100,000. They're pushing 100,000. Yeah, and they don't know what happened to them. You know, people are showing up in these white panel vans down at the borders, and they're picking up these children. I mean, they literally go there with a shopping list.
And it's
You
sad.
know,
Yeah. I just heard a case that came. I don't watch the news and I don't watch a lot of TV, so I read and study a lot. But anyway, I see the case where this man had seen this young girl walking from home from school. She had got off the school bus. He came up to got her, raped her, took her around, and took her all out of town, and then dropped her back off in front of around the area where she lived, that where he took her from, and told him that he would be at the park the next day. But they ended up finding her. I'm so glad the little girl was smart to recognize everything, and they ended up finding the guy who did that to her. But it's sad they're doing this to children, and this is what this is what the Bible says is going to happen before it happens. The prophecy is being fulfilled. When they passed that law that anybody can marry, that fulfilled the prophecy in the Bible. The thing is, the prophecy is being fulfilled, and so things are getting more wicked and wicked on earth. The Bible says it's got to get worse before it get better. So when they did COVID-19, that was a direct population control on the people. So those things that men create, the government create wars and create things that harm people, and they do scare tactics with the media and different like that. That's why you can't believe everything you hear on the news, and you gotta be careful what you're reading and stuff like that, because of the government is so corrupt. I just the dollar of the United States value of the dollar has lost its value because the United States is in debt to other countries now. They have so much greed and so much wickedness, so much corruption that they're in debt to China and different other countries that don't even like the United States government.
Right. Where do we see? Now, here's the question. Herbert asked this a little while ago. Now, if we take down CPS, let's say the magic wand goes, boop, and all of a sudden they say CPS is gone. Remnants, right down to the last cigarette butt. Everything's gone, right? What is this next general going to be, or whatever? What's the next one going to be looking for?
We create an agency to better protect children, parents, and family rights. We create another agency because CPS is the national agency.
Right, and so is the group of ombudsmen, but I don't know if you've been reading any case law lately. In Virginia, a Supreme Court ruling came out that just ruled that the group of ombudsmen is in line with CPS and has actually assisted in essentially the trafficking and termination of children, instead of being the national organization that is supposed to defend parental rights from wrongdoing. So really, I think at this point that we need to get to where we have a new organization by the people, for the people, to force CPS to be accountable and to force the states to mandate the imminent danger. Because
Right.
in my case, there has been no allegation ever against us. But I've been waiting 2 years now for them to say that my kids are or are not dependent, because the judge refused to hold court 2 years ago, and I'm still waiting.
And Herbert is asking a question in the chat. He said, I agree, but how do we deal with kids from parents that abuse their children? How do we deal with kids from parents that abuse their children? We need to.
Well, I kind of like what Texas did, where Texas made the police department the first response. I don't know if you're familiar with the new laws that just passed in the last 6 months in Texas. But
I'm licensed in Texas. That's where my nonprofit started at. That's where I was at, and I fought my case.
You should know these rules. You get to have Johnny Law.
I'm not. I try to stay abreast on what laws.
Yeah, well, now Johnny Law gets your phone call. No more CPS agent. Johnny Law is coming.
Yeah, there's no more anonymous reporting in Texas, and now if you want to do a imminent danger call to the department, it goes through the police department. The police department has to field whether or not there is sufficient grounds.
I advocated for that law to be that way because abuse and neglect is a crime, punishable by law, 10 years or more prison time, felony, misdemeanor, according to the said state. That is the law. So if a person commit a crime, they need to do the time. If they hurt a child, they definitely need to do the time for that. I don't support parents that abuse their kids. Now, if the person just needs help, and they have problems where they need support, classes, then we offer them assistance. But other than that, a person needs to, do the time for the crime that they committed when they do hurt a child.
Of course.
Right, and I think that law needs to be more national, not just in Texas.
It does.
The law needs to be like this. If you put your hands on your children, if you abuse, if you smack, if you harm, you put your kids in a closet, starve them, if you do anything that is physically abusive, unacceptable, I'm not talking about a spank here and there. I'm not talking about things. Look at I hate this situation, right? A little kid running towards the road, cars coming. Kid gets out in the road, mom barely grabs hold of the kid before it's hit by the car. What does mom do to the kid for running out in the road? Come on, what's the standard? Kids
typically swats their ass.
Right. So that wasn't an abusive thing. That wasn't out of they weren't trying to harm that kid. There was no intentions on that. The only intention was hurt them so that they don't ever do this again. So see, there's a level of abuse that is necessary to some people's way of parenting. Not mine, but to others that's necessary. So what I'm saying is I get that. But if you're just knocking your kid around like they're a little punching bag and stuff like that, you know what? You deserve what you get. You should have the criminal stuff coming after you. If little Joey's coming to school every day with black eyes on his face because dad went out and got drunk last night and pummeled him, then yes, we need to make sure that there's a system in place that takes care of little Joey, and not to make him feel like a victim, not to victimize the victim like CPS does, to make that little kid feel empowered and amazing. Make him feel like when he's removed from that shitty situation that it's going to be okay and the world is in front of him. You don't lock him up in the office of a CPS place. That's not how you treat these kids after you just removed them from the only safety net that they know. What the hell is wrong with people?
We have a right to discipline our children, but there's a thin line between discipline and abuse. You have to be careful. You can't just whoop your children for everything and discipline them for everything. You got to be careful between discipline and abuse. There's a thin line. At any moment, you can go from discipline and you go from abuse, and vice versa. So you have to be very careful with disciplining your children.
Right, but over and above that, the kids that are being beat are the kids not receiving help. You know, I spoke to the
True,
chief
correct.
of police for my little town. You know, my town has one cop, okay? And the chief actually quit his job and went to a different county, and the second in command took over. But I was talking to him the other day. I ran into him in Tractor Supply, and I asked him, I literally said, I said, what is up with the bullshit with CPS in our area?
Let me
And
tell you.
he says they will not respond every time he's ever called to a kid being harmed, a kid starving, a kid abused. He says that they never go to anything that they should, that they
Right.
only do what they want. And I asked him, I said, well, why does Judge Hyde fall in line with this shit? Why does this judge give in to everything they want? He says, well, I mean, he's ex-FBI. He, you know, and he literally straightforward said that the judge is corrupt as ever. And he even went as far as telling me that the judge used to be involved in the drug trade in the county back in his prime when he was an agent with the FBI.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know what? They're the reason that they're doing that is because they don't want children that have disabilities and stuff like that to be adopted out. They want to take good parent children from them and adopt their children out. The ones that's good parents of their children.
Trust me, they've been holding mine for 2 years. I got thrown out of a hospital 1 hour after my daughter was born. Okay? Yeah, they removed my daughter at birth with police, threw me out of the hospital, literally just gave birth, got told to put on my clothes and get the hell out, and they did a shelter order, and there's never been court again. And they just had to move my daughter out of the home she was in due to allegations of molestation. 3 weeks after my daughter was in care, they sent me an order saying that there was no indications of harm. But they damn sure ain't trying to return her.
Well, see, the state is that
they right, Tiffany.
never admit fault. When a child is raped and abused in foster care, that's supposed to be an automatic lawsuit against the state. And money.
My daughter had to have brain surgery because of how bad she was abused in the state.
Yeah, and so they're killing children. They don't care. They don't care about the child. They have gotten away from the best of the child law, and now it's about how many kids they can get in the system, how many family mothers' rights and father rights can they terminate, and get them.
Hell, they're still charging me child support for my oldest daughter, even though she is deemed emancipated and has aged out. Her case was closed last year, September of last year. They're still sending me a child support bill, asking me to still pay support on her. Even though all of those arguments and cases were, that was all closed out. But I'm still receiving bills. They're still collecting my daughter's Social Security. They refuse to release her Social Security.
That's a whole other episode.
I just read somewhere in the paper where they took a whole lot of the United States government took a whole lot of children off of Social Security. Like
200,000.
Close their cases. Now, we know that some people were just giving their kids that medication and doing all that stuff. And their kids really didn't have no problems or disabilities, you know, because we have people that milk the system and abuse the system and stuff like that. So I don't believe in medicating children with psychotropic drugs or medication and stuff like that. But anyway, some people do, and they're putting their kids on that Ritalin and all that stuff, and that was making the kids more worse because their brains were still developing. And so anyway,
well, it's getting to be that time, Darren.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, man. That's
Are you
why
getting feedback again?
What's up? When I do this, That's like the 2-minute warning. So when that baby comes up, that means that's it. Last comments, and we're going into the final thoughts.
So, Herbert, any last comments?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, I don't know. Nobody said nothing. Thank you, Tiffany. I was asking if you could hear me. Is there any feedback now?
No, we're good right now at the moment.
Okay, I think I may have figured out what it was. I think I figured it out.
Enlighten us. What is it?
When I'm holding my phone, I may have my hand over my mic, my speaker, and that's what may be feeding back with my finger
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, that could be.
Because now you're not getting no feedback, right?
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay, now I
You
put
got
my
any
finger
last
over.
questions for Tiffany?
Yeah, I still got the question, Tiffany. We could talk after the show, but for the show purposes, what should the police do when they get dispatched to a home where there's a disturbance, where there's mom and dad fighting each other and they're at it? Kids are in the middle of this whole thing, and the kids we can see are being abused. What do you want us to do?
Well, the law enforcement need to make sure that they're doing a proper and honest assessment of the situation. Just because there may be a dispute between, that's domestic violence, which is not good for a child to be in that environment. But what I've seen have happen is that they have fought the person that's being abused and take the kids from them, and then the child is in foster care all because of domestic violence. What needs to happen is there needs to be some type of re-notification and some type of services put in place to ensure that if it's a real case of domestic violence and real crime that's been committed, then that person, whoever,
Okay.
go to jail.
Okay, Tiffany, we could talk about this more, but I want to use your scenario with the kid walking across the street. Daddy slapped the boy across his head, about to knock his eyeball out. Mama came up beating on daddy for beating up on the kid, and she says that the kid's been abused by the father before because that's not his child anyway. That's his stepson. Okay, so what are we doing about a situation like this? I'm going to take daddy in for abusing the child, right?
Right? Yes.
Mom knew about this all the time. She never said nothing to nobody.
Abuse and neglect is a crime, punishable by law, 10 years or more prison time, felony, misdemeanor, according to the said state. That's the law. So you can't abuse children, and you can't hurt people. That we have the criminal justice, prisons in place because our laws originate from the Bible. You know, that's where our laws came from.
Okay, well here I gotta make, because we get ready to end the show. We're gonna end the show. I just want to know real quickly, what do you want the police to do when mommy's arrested, daddy's arrested, and there is no other kinfolk near around? What do we do with that kid?
We have to take the kid to an agency. Now they're other than they have churches, they have places that people is welcoming children in to be a safe haven for if something like that happens where the child has been abused and the parents have had some type of domestic violence. So we need to make sure that we're protecting the child at all costs. So those people, that the first thing needs to happen is that another thing that's happening too, law enforcement is not telling when they come out to these houses, they're not telling the parents their rights. So there needs to be a person, attorney or somebody that's a rights advocate there to be dispatched on the scene to explain to the people what's going to happen to them before they get into the court of law. So there needs to be a system set in place for that, and that's not being done. But what's happening? They're fighting both parents, and they're taking, and the child is suffering in foster care.
Let's talk about this after the show. You're gonna come on the after show?
Yeah.
Because Darren's getting ready to close the show down right now.
Okay.
Do you know Darren's gonna send you a link? Well, if we get off the show, you're gonna send you a link. Tap into that link, and then we can all talk again.
Okay. Yeah. Send me the link to my email though.
Yeah, I got you. I got it.
Phones be hacked up from the government.
Yep, you know it. That being said, Tiffany, you got last words?
I just want to say that we need to continue this discussion. We need to make sure that we are on one accord. We've been on one accord, and everybody is. I like this group. It's very educational and very profound, and so let's keep the discussion going so we can affect change.
Thank you much. How about you, Melissa?
I'm good. I think we covered most of it.
In other words, get off the screen there and let's go. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for tonight. Thank you, everybody, guys, for coming out to watching us. We really do appreciate you guys. Here's that. I'm going to put that QR code up here for everybody. Make sure you guys all check this out. But thank you, guys. I'll be sending you guys that Google Meet link. And then if any of you guys that are watching, if you guys want to get involved with that conversation with us, you know what? Send me an email at abolishcps.com@gmail.com, and we'll get you in that link. You guys can come on in and speak with us. But again, guys, I can't reiterate how much information and how much help there is for you out here, and how many groups like us that are all fighting for you guys and for ourselves. We're a pretty big freaking army, man, and we're all being thrown into this race. So you might as well take a part of it. Be a part of it, because it's going to be pretty big when it goes down. It's going to be huger when it happens, and it's going to feel damn good the day that we get to grab our kids in our arms and give them a hug, and you can look them in the eyes and say, you know what? I always knew you were coming home. We're sorry, and we've been waiting for this day. I know I'm looking forward to that day. I'm sure all of you are too. So don't forget, you want to come into this group with us, this conversation afterwards, abolishcps.com@gmail. Send me your information. I'll send you the link, and you can all chat with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all of those things. If you guys can, go ahead and help us support the show, and pray for me because I got to go find my cat. I'm the CPS Punisher, and I'm out of here. See you guys tomorrow. Like and subscribe, YouTube stuff, like and subscribe, and great. Have a good night, guys.